Alright, hi guys, welcome to my next video. Now, for today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different, nothing that has to do with makeup, but I'm going to be showing you guys and teaching you how I do my own eyebrows. Now, I've never had my eyebrows waxed or threaded, but I do them myself, and everyone has always asked me how I do them. Alright, so if you guys want to kind of cut back the spending a little bit for the new year and you want to stop paying money to go get them waxed or threaded, stick around and I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and the tools you'll need to get nice natural brows yourself. Alright, so there is a little bit of a backstory on how and why I learned to do my brows myself. Now, when I was younger, you're going to see why I wanted them done. My eyebrows were really thick and uneven, like I said previously. Now, I would always ask my mom if I can get my brows waxed or threaded, but she would never let me. Now, I guess it's kind of understandable. You hear all these stories nowadays of people getting their brows done and the person who does them takes out a chunk of their eyebrow, makes them too thin. My light just went off, that's nice. You know what I mean. All those mishaps from getting them done. Now, once I heard some of those things, I kind of was just like, you know, forget about it. I'm gonna find a way to do it myself. So I did some research and I just kind of came up with my own ways, kind of, I guess, on how to do mine. So I'm going to show you guys some nice things you can use for your brows. I'm going to show you several different alternatives that you can use in order to do them yourself, and then you can get nice fleeky brows for yourself. Alright, so we're going to start off by showing you what tools you're going to need in order to do your brows yourself. Now, you might need 3 or 4 of these depending on which route you want to go with and what your main concerns are with your brows. Now, we'll start off simple here, and this is a straight razor, and this is from Sephora. So you just can take the little cap off, and it has a little blade, and I'll explain how you would use this later. Now, another thing you're going to need for sure are some tweezers. Now, I'm just going to do a quick little rant on these tweezers. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills tweezers. This might sound funny. I've tried so many tweezers, but there's something with these things that make it really, really easy to actually grab the hair. Get it the first time you grab it instead of like trying to get at the same hair several times, and then your skin around the area just gets really aggravated and it just hurt, you know. And then we have some little mini scissors here. Again, I'll explain these later. And then thread if you want to go the threading route. Now, I learned how to thread a while back, and I will do both depending on how much time I have and what I kind of need at the time. Now, I'm going to explain the difference with the threading and just using the straight razor here in a moment. Alright, so I'm going to explain the difference between just using the straight razor and then threading your brows. Now, if you want to get it done quickly, and the thing is it's going to last kind of short term, you would use the straight razor. Now, I'm going to just be demoing the straight razor in a bit here, but the straight razor you can easily just take and just shave around your brow and shape it and carve it out however you want. Now, I've noticed when I go and use my straight razor, my brow hairs do grow back a little faster than they would with threading. Now, with threading, it will take practice to especially get the motion down with the whole threading part of it. Now, it also does kind of take a while to make sure you get every individual hair. But I noticed when I was threading a while back, I kind of stopped because I just lost time. I would be able to really get a nice straight line for my brow, which is nice. Now, I feel like if you take a thread to the top of your eyebrow, it's more of a long-term effect because you're actually pulling the hair out instead of shaving it straight down. And that's the same with tweezers. If you want to use tweezers at the top, that's fine, go for it. But that might take a while, and threading will grab several hairs at a time and just pull them out. So that's up to you. Now, you wouldn't want to thread at the bottom because it's kind of too hard to get under your brow here. And I always tell people just thread at the bottom of your brow. That's like definitely the easiest thing you want to do. Do not take the threading under there because you can actually get a hair caught in the thread if it's poking down just a tad bit, and then you're going to pull that hair out. Now, the scissors, what they're for is they're just for in the center part or anywhere in your brow if it's growing out a little bit and the hairs are too long, because I know some people's brows, they all grow differently. Now, from here till my end of my brows, my brows kind of grow at a horizontal length almost, and then the center of my brows, which is typical for people, those grow kind of vertically and like diagonally, if you know what I mean. So I will take the scissors and just trim right here. I literally call it like a little bush because they just grow like crazy. So I'll literally just take the scissors and cut right down along the line from where I threaded, or I used a straight razor to make that line and shape out my own brow. And that way everything will line up nice and evenly. Alright, so I'm physically going to be demonstrating how to use and the techniques you need to use in order to use these tools. So I'm going to go take off my makeup so we have nothing getting in the way of our brows. And then when I come back, I'm going to be demoing the straight razor on this side, and then over on this side, I'm going to be threading. And I'm also going to show you the way you need to thread. And then not to mention, I've been also growing my brows out for a while now in order to show you guys the actual benefits of doing your brows yourself and the tremendous improvements that it's actually going to make for the appearance of them. Now, whether your brows have been growing out from a previous waxing or threading, or your brows are still full grown and you haven't done anything to them, these techniques are still going to work for you. Alright, so my makeup is now all off, and yeah, my face decided to break out. Long story. It does that all the time. So anyways, I get a lot of questions on where people should tweeze and actually take off part of their brow. And the best advice I have for that is just to kind of look where your main brow is. And the little staggered hairs kind of off to the side, take those off, get rid of those. Now, you can do your brows. Now, if you don't like them that thick, try again, make them a little thinner, and just you kind of keep working them to what you eventually like. And the more you do them, it just sticks to a shape that is perfect for you. Alright, so I really did zoom you guys in. So what we're going to start with is, like I said, the straight razor. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to do that on this brow. So I'm kind of just looking at the side mirror I have here so I can really see. So obviously I have my natural shape already. So I'm going to just kind of use my finger to hold my brow in place so that the skin is nice and tight. And I'm just going to just take that and go right down with the natural line that I already have. Now, as I was saying, this is just taking off the top layer. It's not pulling the whole hair follicle out. It's just shaving it off. Now you can just keep going, and then you can go around the sides as well. And that's as easy it is with the straight razor. Now you can even take the straight razor and just go straight down here. You know, get rid of the unibrow, it happens. We all have one technically. And really get that nice and clean. Now, I really like to use the straight razor for there and much over the threading part. Alright, so I just went ahead and I used the whole straight razor on the top of this brow. Now if you look here, it is all clean. There are no hairs to be there, at least, to see. Now you can see little stubs along just because they're not completely pulled out. Now if you look at this one hasn't had anything done to it in a few weeks now. And there's all these little stubs, and that's not what we want. So we're going to go ahead and thread this side. Alright, so now's the time I'm going to show you guys how to thread and the technique you need to use. So all you need is that thread, and this is literally just some clothing thread. It's really thin. I don't know if you can even see that, but super, super thin. So I'd say it depends on how big your hands are too. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be tying this. So I have really tiny hands, so I don't really want that big of a loop. So I'm just going to cut, can't really see how much I have here, but I'm going to cut a little amount off with these little scissors I have. That's not the point of the scissors, of course, but you need scissors anyways. I'm sure you have them in your house anywhere. So what you're going to do, you have your thread, and you are just going to tie the two ends together. Now try to make the tie as small as you can. If you have big fingers, it's a little challenging. I even have trouble with this, and I don't really have big fingers. But you just want to tie that in a little knot so that it doesn't come undone and it stays in that loop. Almost got it. Okay, so once you have it in a tie, it looks like this. You have this little tiny loop here. So go ahead and cut off those little ends here that aren't being used from when you knotted it. You don't want those to be in your way when you're going to be threading. So just cut those off, and then you just have your thread. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys the technique you need to use in order to thread. Now this is the hardest part of this. It does take practice though, and I'm sure you guys will get better with it. So how you want to start is with, you take your thread here and there's an opening. So what you want to do is you want to put pretty much your whole hand through, and then you just want to leave your pointer finger and your middle finger pointing up with your thumb kind of to the side, while these two fingers down here, your ring finger and your pinky finger, those are kind of wrapped down around the string. So the motion you're going to be doing with these hands over your right hand is you're just going to be opening and closing. So your thumb is going to be going, or your pointer and your middle finger are going to go to your thumb, and you're just going to open and close. Now with your left hand, you just want to stick your pointer finger through the loop, and you just want to twist. So what this is going to do is this is going to create the loop that's going to catch the hairs and pull them out. So you just want to put your hand in just like the other one, and both your hands are going to be making that motion. And this is the motion that will pull out the hairs. Alright, so when your hands are in position to thread, you want to line up the hairs with this little corner part of the thread. So right there, that is where the hair will be pulled out. So I'm going to be honest, this does hurt a little bit because it is pulling out a bunch of little hairs at the same time, and you kind of don't expect it. So I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see this on camera, but I'm going to start, and you're going to probably see little bits of my skin pulling up, and that is the thread pulling out the hair. So the more you play around with the threading, the better you're going to get at it. I'm probably flinching a lot because this does hurt a little bit, but this really takes out the hair, and it's a more effective way of pulling out the hairs rather than taking tweezers and taking a long time for the top of your brow. Alright, so I did go ahead and I finished threading this side. Now you're not going to notice much of a difference when you look at it straight on. You will notice in the long run or the short term, especially with the straight razor. So this one will grow back much faster than this one on this side, just because since when you threaded, you just pull out the whole follicle. Now I did go ahead and I tweezed under my eyebrows here, and the last part I have to show you guys is just the center part where we are going to use the scissors. Alright, so this is basically the simplest part of it all here. So this one, I noticed it's really not that bad. I did cut it a little short on accident the other day, so it was still kind of growing back. But now this one over here, it is getting a little long. So all I'm going to do is just take the scissors, and I'm going to line it up with the rest of my brow. Once it's lined up, I'm just going to chop, and that will cut my brows. I'm trying to look in the side mirror over here so I don't accidentally cut something I don't want to. But you're just going to kind of keep trimming them till they line up with the rest of your brow. Alright, so you guys are real up and close now, so you can really see the final product with the eyebrows. Now this one here, again, was the straight razor, and this one here was the threaded eye. Again, you might not be able to see the difference, but in the long run, you will. Alright, so this concludes the video on learning how to do your brows at home, and I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something new. And if any of you guys go and try out any of these tricks I shared with you guys, let me know how it went for you. I'd love to hear from you guys. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is. Bye guys!